Hi, good day YouTube friends. It is me again. I'm still alive. I know I dropped off of the face of the earth and I feel really bad about it because I've been wanting to upload, but life is just so chaotic. Here is me trying again. So much has changed since I was uploading last September, I believe. Why has anyone subscribed to me? I feel like I'm a different person. Every time I jump back on YouTube, I have a few new things I've been up to. Training's been switched up to strength training for the last month or so, and that has been so fun. I would love to walk you through what I have been doing for that.
Love you.
Breakfast because I got home from the gym and I am starving. Today there's just also a few things I need to be doing around the house. I have so much plant care to do. Since we last hung out, I was gonna say spoke, but we don't talk to each other. Since we last hung out, I have built an IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I just needed somewhere to start putting all my plants. It does need a bit of a clean. A lot of plants need watering. Also, I need to spray some of them because I spotted some pests. It's not completely finished. I just haven't gone down to organizing the cables properly and like drilling holes in it. But yeah, this is one of the highlights of my life. I've got a lot of plant care to catch up on, bit of cleaning, bit of laundry. This is kind of as exciting as my weekends get. A bit of sim racing. Samir's been going ham building his sim rig and that is so much fun. It just takes a lot of energy. It's like a workout. Side note, these are my favorite leggings at the moment. They are from Shein. I was so sick of paying $60 to $70 a pair for leggings that were basically drop shipped from China anyway. Why not buy directly from the source? I get the whole ethics side of it, but a lot of apparel is made unethically anyway, so I don't know what you're going to do about it unless you just want to like pay for it. These are seamless. I have them in a few other colors. They are high-waisted, super stretchy, super soft. They have a nice scrunch. It's not too obnoxious. They're squat proof. I do want to get a few more pairs. And then this top is from Shein as well. I do have the Lululemon version, Lululemon, however you say it. They call it the Align Tank, super soft material. I find I actually prefer the Shein dupe because Lululemon, whatever, they give you like a bit too much cleavage, which I personally find uncomfortable when I'm training. I don't want to be worrying about my boobs falling out. And this little crop jacket is from Shein as well. I'm sorry the lighting's really dark, but it does have fleece inside. After a few washes though, it does get a bit rough and starts peeling. So definitely not the best quality, but great for training because I'm warming up on the floor and stuff. Super comfy. Not the best material though, and it's not great if you get super sweaty. I don't, thankfully, so I don't mind it. Just about to put some rice on. I always cook my rice on the stove. I kind of hate rice cookers. Samir's got this really fancy Zorushi Japanese brand of rice cooker and it is good, but it takes so long and I just feel like cooking in Teflon is just not ideal, and I don't know, I feel like it just comes out nicer old school on the stove. The ratio I do is 1.5 times water. So a bit of maths here, quick maths, or we can just use my calculator. How bloody cute is my wallpaper? This pot weighs 852, and then I've got 400 grams of raw rice, and then 400 times 1.5 is 600. So we need to add 600 to this. So that means this needs to weigh 1852. Usually we get our water from Mount Donna. There's a natural spring that runs down the mountain and we go and take 30 or something water cooler bottles and fill them up with water. And last time we went to go refill all the water, it was closed because the water was contaminated. The council regularly tests it, so hoping to go again in the next few weeks if the water's okay. But when we can't go there, we get Pure U. It is free of nasties and BPA. Highly recommend instead of drinking tap water if you can afford it. These are like $10 for 10 litres at Coles and Woolies and IGA. Oh, exhausting. This is like one of my least favorite chores, changing the bedding, just because our mattress is so heavy. It feels like deadlifting a car. Duvet cover is so bloody annoying because it has buttons. I have a few from the Sheet Society that are zipper, which is life-changing, but these I think I got from Bed Bath & Beyond because they're 100% cotton, which is nice, but it's just annoying to unbutton. Who uses buttons anymore? Oh, the rice. Little bubbles like that at the top mean it's time for the lid to go on, and we're gonna chuck on a 12-minute timer. got this fitted sheet from Koala and it's so good because it actually tells you which corners are for heads and toes, so you're not spending 5 minutes like a dickhead turning the sheet because you don't know which corner is which. Okay, it's actually not that heavy this time, maybe because I'm getting stronger, it's less painful. The worst when you're doing up buttons and stuff like this is when you get to the end and then you realise it's not lined up and then you have to undo them all and do it again. This is a public service announcement to duvet companies. You say doona? I think doona is an Australian thing. Oh, the timer. Oh, it's so fluffy. Stunning! Alright, once I finish this in 2 years and put the sheets in the washing machine, I'm gonna eat. No. Please be warm. Oh, thank God. We made it. Post-workout meal situation is some rice, slow cooked beef. I do a big batch of this once a week. It is chuck steak. It is a little bit fatty, but it shreds up really nicely. Pico de gallo, which is my favorite way to eat any sort of red meat and rice. Obviously a shit ton of salt, sriracha, and barbecue sauce. I just wanted to do an update on what I've been up to in terms of my training since the end of April. I have been on a strength training program, 5x5, also called strong lift, or some sort of variation of it. Prior to that, I was still training how I was before, which you may have seen in my previous vlog. I just found that things were getting really flat. I wasn't getting stronger and I was pretty stagnant with progress. So it was actually Samir who suggested for me to jump on a strength training program. I love strength training. It is a big switch to make initially and it can feel a bit uncomfortable, but I love it. For those of you who are not familiar with 5x5, this is at least Samir's variation of it. I have done 5x5 in the past, but apparently it was different or wrong. Who knows which one is the correct way, but this is what I'm doing right now and it's been working really well. You basically focus on 5 key compound movements. So you have squats, deadlifts, bench presses, bent over rows, and a push press or overhead press. You have 2 workouts, so workout A, workout B. For workout A, you do squats, bench presses, barbell bent over rows. Workout B, you do deadlifts, push press, and I have added tricep dips as per Samir's suggestion. And you only train 3 days per week, so this has been a pretty dramatic shift from me training 5-6 days per week for a long time to now only training 3 days, sometimes 2 days per week. You alternate between workout A and workout B. The goal is basically to increase your weight on your last working set of every exercise. It's called 5x5 because you're meant to do 5 sets of 5 reps for each exercise. The way Samir's got me to do it is to treat the first 4 sets of an exercise as a warm-up, and the last set is a set that really counts, where you're trying to push for a PB in terms of weight each session or each week, because sometimes you just won't be able to increase that much. If you can successfully get 5 reps at one weight, so let's say on squats, I successfully did 5 reps at 100 kilos for my last 5th working set. The next session I would try adding a little bit more, so that could be 102.5 kilos, gradually increase weight and lift it explosively to the best of your ability. The goal with this type of training is not to execute with perfect form and really slow and controlled tempo and feel a big burn. It's really just to move the weight. Obviously, you still want to do that in a way that is safe and not get injured. So there is still a standard you have to have for your form, but I'm not super fixated on insane range of motion and controlling the weight really carefully. The goal is to move the weight, as I said. In the past, I've really limited myself by hyper focusing on really tiny, not tiny, but just focusing on little parts of training, like increasing my range of motion and my depth and controlling it more slowly, that I just wasn't increasing weight. You will hit a bit of a wall if you're not increasing how much weight you can lift. I feel like whenever I focused on strength training and pushing more weight, that's sort of when I felt my best and generally looked my best, apart from the fact that I am holding a lot more body fat because I have been eating more. I usually feel so much more powerful when I go through strength training phases. I think with the whole fitness industry, there's a lot of back and forth about it's not that important how much weight you lift, it's how well you lift it, and that is absolutely true. But I think a lot of people limit themselves when they just focus on improving all these little techniques instead of just lifting more weight, which they'll probably see more progress with. I will insert some footage of my squats. I have not been filming full workouts or anything. I've really just been enjoying going in, doing my 3 exercises and getting the fuck out. But I have filmed some of my squat sets just because it's really exciting for me to be able to lift this much. At the moment, I've been able to work out 2 squats of 105 kilos for 5 reps, which is insane. I was wanting to squat 100 kilos since I started training years ago, and I just never committed to like a proper strength training phase, so I never achieved it, but I have. Prior to this, I could only squat 95 kilos for 5 reps. It's a pretty decent increase given my weight is about 55 kilos at the moment. It's almost double body weight. I really want a double body weight squat, but I am going to be mindful with how much I'm pushing myself. I don't want to get injured given my history with my hip. I will go back to my normal hypertrophy training soon and be a lot better at it because I'm a lot stronger. That's the goal. This is your sign. If your training's boring the life out of you, if you feel like you're not making progress, do something different. Maybe try strength training, maybe try lifting heavier. If you're only lifting heavy, maybe try not lifting heavy and doing higher reps. It's really refreshing to switch things up, and it helps you learn a lot more. With strength training in particular, you really learn how much more you're capable of. You really have to shut that little bitch voice up in the back of your head that tells you you can't do it, it's gonna crush you, you're gonna die, and you just have to move the weight. So that's been really great for me. I have been enjoying it. I've not been tracking my macros or following a meal plan of any sort during this time, which obviously is not optimal, but it has been really nice not to have to weigh everything to the gram. I don't think that's a really sustainable approach to take year round, but it's obviously still important to be mindful of what you're eating. I have gained a bit of fat. I plan on doing a cut soon just to lose some of that body fat because it is uncomfortable. All of my clothes are tied up, so it's really annoying, but this is real life, and I really just wanted to share my experience just in case it would inspire you to take a different approach if things are getting flat.
Here I just have some tap water, and I'm just going to be mixing in some Growth Technology Foliage Focus. It's basically a whole dose of nutrients because I don't use fertilizer on my plants, but they definitely need it. I've only sort of just started using this, so I can't really comment as to how much of a difference it's actually made. So I'm just going to go around the house and check all of them and just see which ones need to be watered, maybe sprayed for bugs. I do use this moisture meter. It also measures sunlight and pH, but I only use it for moisture, and I find most of the time it's accurate. Sometimes it's not, and I'll just stick my finger in, but because of how many plants I have, I just don't want to always use my finger. Halfway on the moisture meter, so definitely does not need watering, but the leaves are pretty dusty. I'm just gonna give them a quick wipe down. I feel like this needs repotting. The roots are kind of starting to come out the bottom. I'll just replant this soon. I honestly can't be bothered wiping the leaves down. We're just gonna skip that. The moisture meter says it's dry, but I can still see some moisture on the actual pot, so I'm just gonna leave that. I swear I did all of these recently. I don't know why I'm here. I don't think I've shared this. How cute is it? I got this from Amazon because I was running out of station spaces, and I just felt like I needed something on this wall that wasn't a photo frame. I love these little, let me show you. Love the propagations for these peperomias. They're basically growing little baby plants. Ew, that one's rotted, yuck. Ew, ugh. I try and put ones in here that are going to take a while to grow roots. This bonsai definitely needs water. I just refill it with water when the pebbles down here are dry. It's nice to have this water dispenser here because usually I just drop water straight in, but I do want to give this nutrients because it's looking pretty leggy. These stems are so long, I feel like it's trying to reach towards the light, so I kind of hate the way it's growing, but hopefully it picks up a bit with some foliage focus. These alocasias I could not keep alive in soil for the life of me, so I've just put them in water, and they have been thriving. Both of them only have one leaf, and I put them in, and now they're growing little babies. Oh my god, the new leaves come out. This is a Norfolk Island pine. It actually grows into massive pine tree, like 20 meters or something high. I noticed some tiny spider webs. I reckon it could have some spider mites. So I would love to take this outside and just hose it down. It's just so annoying to move. Also, I made this little pot. I went through a bit of a let me try making my own pots phase, and this fucking thing took me hours. It's so tiny and it does have drainage holes in it. Nothing was really good enough size-wise, but then I came across this little succulent and it's perfect. I feel like this might need watering. It's pretty good. I'll probably let it get a bit drier. I finally figured out how to keep carnivorous plants alive. Here I have a Venus flytrap and a trumpet pitcher plant. You can't give them tap water because they're too sensitive to the minerals. I actually buy distilled water for them. You can use rainwater as well. They're pretty swampy plants. I believe they don't mind sitting in a bit of water. Take these away. Good morning. It's almost 7 a.m. and it's still so bloody dark outside. Last night, after all my plant care, just grabbed some dinner and then we crashed. I was asleep by 7:30. When you start waking up at 4 a.m., you get knocked out at like 8 p.m. Today, we're having a pretty chilled out day. It is obviously a rest day for me because I only train 3 days a week, as I've mentioned. Usually in the morning, after drinking a bit of water and some salt, if I've had a very salty meal the night before, I will not wake up and have salt because it just dehydrates me more. I've been on the verge of getting a headache, so I'm not having salt today. And then after water, I just bit my cheek because I've got 3 wisdom teeth coming out. I've actually scheduled my removal surgery, my first surgery in my life, in a month, and I'm freaking out about it, but I really need to get them out because I'm biting the inside of my cheeks. And I have really chubby cheeks and kind of lisping a bit. I was lisping at the start. So as I was saying, after my water, I will usually have an English breakfast tea, but I have gone back to Aldi decaf. This is Aldi's freeze-dried decaf coffee, and it is so nice for decaf. Not that I've tried that many decafs, but I love this. I'm such a sucker for freeze-dried coffee, which is awful because Samir has this really nice proper Italian coffee machine at home, but I feel because I've worked in hospitality and had like 4 coffees a day, just straight espressos and double espressos, something in me just can't deal with the taste of coffee anymore. I just find it really bitter. I'll drink it. I don't hate it, but I don't enjoy a really strong coffee anymore. So a lot of the times I'll have decaf, and I guess this is good as well because then I'm just not over caffeinating myself. I feel like everyone has a
the tendency to run on caffeine, and it does sort of mask your tiredness and low energy levels. So if you're looking for a decaf or you just want to try decaf instead of caffeinated coffee for a while, I would highly recommend the El Cafe Gold from Aldi. Please sponsor me. I've got the heater on, but it is so bloody cold still in Melbourne. I'm the queen of stealing Samir's jackets. It's so warm. Also, I just wanted to point out how much nicer the IKEA cabinet just makes our whole living space. The lighting in our house is so dim, and this dining room space used to be so dark before that. My grandma for years has been sending me good morning texts every morning, and she sends me a gift with it every single morning, and it's a different gift every time. She's never sent me the same gift twice. It's so cute. It's a highlight to wake up and send her a different gift back every day. I love her. I visited her a couple of weeks ago and so many of her plants were infested with bugs, so I hosed most of them down and I took my insecticide and sprayed the fuck out of them. I get stressed out seeing plants like that, and she was so oblivious to it, and I was like, you do realize you have a plant that's fully infested. Yeah, hopefully we'll visit her soon.
I literally have not feeded one since last September and they still come. Little characters. That means they're going. Bye. I whipped up a quick batch of pico de gallo because I ran out. I didn't have the usual quantity of tomatoes to make the usual batch size, but I'll pop the normal ratios I use on screen. Fundamentally, you mix together onion, lime juice, tomato, coriander or cilantro, lots of salt, and jalapeno, which I didn't have, so I just subbed it for cayenne, or you could use chili. It's hard to fuck this up and it tastes amazing. 10 out of 10 would recommend making. Yum, I just taste tested it and it came out so good.
It is almost 6 p.m. I just did social media posts for Canyonland Retreat. My mum runs an eco retreat in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales, about 2 hours away from Sydney and Canberra, and it's amazing, and I manage all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Please check it out. I promise you will love it if you ever visit country New South Wales. It's incredible. But anyways, I am just about to jump onto the racing. Thanks so much for joining along. See you in the next vlog, which I promise won't be like 9 months away.
Good luck.
Thank you. Oh my god, this is such a fun track today.